Alright everybody, hello and welcome. As always, I'm Sean. This is In The Mixer. It's a new week and we're up to episode 4 of our Pentagon challenge. We're still in Asia. We still haven't added any of the continental titles. That's not really where we're at the moment in this series. Thanks to everyone who supported all the episodes last week. Very much appreciate the feedback, the comments, all that sort of stuff. But we've got a whole bunch that we need to recap today because we are a season ahead. We are potentially going to win silverware again in Singapore. Maybe that will be what we need to kind of leapfrog us up into some higher divisions as well. But let's jump in and have a review of what we've done so far. So first and foremost, as you guys can see just above my head up there, Hugang United, 23 games played, plus 37 goal difference, 61 points, already declared as champions in the league so far this season and on the cusp of an invincible season with our final game of the regular season to come. So in that period, 19 wins, 4 draws, some of those a little bit unlucky, some of those a bit tough because they were done during international call-ups where our squad depth truly got tested. But the squad has done, I think, fantastically well. We've kept it relatively small throughout the course of the season. You can see 22 people. It's currently, it's mainly been 21 people throughout the course of the season. More on that in a moment as well. As far as the squad is concerned, this is kind of like the starting lineup that I'd go with if everyone was fit and available. A couple of these players will miss out today, but we made a few off-season signings. Darren Tay, right back for the Singaporean national side. Daniel Crichton, a young defender, he came across as well on a free transfer, which is fantastic for us. He's got very high potential as well, still only 20 and already one of the better defenders in the division. Zach Abaliev, you may remember from last season, he was in the squad but didn't play that much because of registration rules around foreign players. Because of some players that departed, he actually got a whole bunch of game time this season, which was fantastic. Jacob Marler we signed last year, he's been wonderful. Nikesh Singh Sidhu we used as our number 10 last year. He actually dropped back to play as a Messiah because we picked up this guy, Adam Swandy, 14 cap Singaporean international, 27 years of age, 4-star current and potential ability. He's been doing quite well for us as well. Our wingers are young players. Not only do we have those foreign rules, about like 3 in the match day squad, we've only got 2 signed to the club at the moment. That part's great. We've also got to have under 21 players in the squad. So we've been trying to kind of rotate through and get some young players involved. Jordan Vestering was one of those under 21s last season. He's now 23, so that hasn't worked out. Jacob Mailer now 23 as well. So we are trying to refresh kind of under 21 players at all times, which is a weird way to look at it. But thankfully our wingers, Ong Yu Yen, who has very good potential ability, cutting in on the left-hand side, and Farhan Zakalufi, or Zukulfi, I'm probably butchering that pronunciation, but who knows. They're kind of our under 21 stars, and they play each and every week on the wings, which has been great for us. You can see every team settled in the lineup. It's a little bit 4-2-3-1 gegenpress, even though I didn't aspire to go and do that. But at the moment, really, we just need to be getting up amongst the divisions as much as possible. So today we're going to bring you guys the Balestier game to finish off the season and hopefully, fingers crossed, get an invincible season. And then we're probably going to jump ahead and hopefully bring you guys a Singapore Cup final as well, if we can. But before we get stuck into that, what I kind of wanted to walk you guys through is competition reputation, because it's something that we haven't really kind of discussed and haven't needed to on the channel before. But you can see here, these leagues that are highlighted are the ones that are currently loaded in to the game itself. I'll just add in the second divisions for Korea and China as well. But as you can kind of see, we started off in the Malaysian Premier League, winning the title and then getting sacked. Now we're in the Singaporean Premier League. The next jump up would potentially be to go to Indonesia in League 1. Or maybe, if we can, jump to like Korean League 2 or the Chinese National First Division. And then you've got the top flight divisions. The A-League is at 2-star, so double the current reputation where we're currently at. The K-League 1 and then the Chinese Super League as well. So even though we're doing quite well and winning this league comfortably each season, the competition reputation isn't quite coming along with that, which is what we need. That's where our our Asian Champions League performance should come into it a bit more. And unfortunately, we did finish bottom of the group. They're just too strong at the moment. Like Bangkok Glass, I don't think we're expected to finish at the top of the division, but like the players that they've got Brazilians that are paying like 4 or 5k a week, and our maximum at the moment is about 1,000 that we can actually offer. FC Seoul's in there, FC Hiroshima, who aren't a real side, but they're from Japan, so they've got some incredible talent coming through. That's kind of where we're at. So I think if we were trying to get Hugang to that level, to get that competition reputation higher, to then leapfrog into higher roles, it'd be a long-term journey. It'd be like, I think, 10 seasons before we realistically get to that point. And even then, we're only trying to improve Singapore to eventually get ourselves to Australia or to Korea or to China. So what we might do at the end of the episode is we might jump back into the job center and have a look at some of the roles that are potentially out there and available to us. And we might go and apply for some new stuff. Even if it is like a sideways move to Indonesia, it's at least a little bit further up the divisions. at least as far as the competition reputation is concerned. That's how it's playing out in my head, but I'm just trying to like keep you guys up to speed as much as possible. But let's get stuck into our games first, because that is the part that I'm sure you guys are more than ready to be seeing. All right, and we're going with a couple of changes. Our right-hand side has changed a little bit. Our right back and our right winger will be the reserve squad players, but we should still have enough, I think, about us to get beyond Balestier. We have beaten them each time we've played so far this season. Oh, and it's a good strike there from Ong Yuen, the left winger. Good save from Moran, puts it around the post. Moran actually did play for us last season as well, but we let him go. He wanted ridiculous money for a 2-star player. Crichton here, back to defence, and the highlight comes to an end, but opening stages, we do get the first highlight of the match, which is always good to see. Not the most interesting opening 30 minutes. We're going to use a demand more shout with about 15 to go in the first half, and if we don't see any further highlights this half, we might make a tactical adjustment to try and drag them out a bit. There is a highlight here though. It's a long ball forward. Zani, our goalkeeper, should come out and claim. What can we do in transition? It's gone the long ball forward, but it's a pretty poor clearance. They win it back in midfield. Ishihara, a good tackle from the right back, forward to their left back. Long ball forward is cut out by Crichton. Doi will knock this one down for Quack. Doi has been a revelation this season, again leading scoring targets in the division. Backstick ball to Ong Yuen, and he puts it home. His 10th goal of the season in his debut year. Absolutely fantastic from the little left winger. He's right-footed, so he does cut in quite a bit and score a bit more on that side. And it looks like our demand more shout has just gone through, which is crazy. But we take a 1-goal lead. Wonderful worked ball. He nearly messes it up, puts it straight at Moran, but thankfully his hand can only push it further back into the goal. And we take a 1-goal advantage into half-time, which is perfect for us. Vestering, deep free kick, Svondi. Now to Singh Sidhu. Good reverse pass there to Vestering. Makes a good overlapping run, and Quack at the back there can only head it straight at the goalkeeper. Highlight might continue here as well. Moran's going to try and bring it forward for Balestier. Good flick on header too, and played out left, and a reverse pass to Hallam. So they've brought one straight back. Real first highlight that we've seen from them, and it's gone pretty much from one chance directly up the other end. Long ball forward, should have been dealt with a bit better. Marla in defence is the one challenging for it. I would have preferred one of the centre-backs to go after that high ball. And it's a good little reverse pass around the corner. Defensive lines are all over the place. So two centre-backs are right next to each other, and it's a good near-post finish, to be fair. We're going to go into the dressing room. We're going to say thrash arms, far from pleased, and then we're going to go tactically and drop back to our possession-based style. It's a little bit less intense. Maybe we'll just try and coax them out a little bit more and get some more space in behind. Deep free kick, Singh Sidhu to take towards backstick, and Swandy has knocked that one home. 6th goal of the season for our number 10. And immediately in the second half, we have fought back to take a further advantage. I'd love to finish on a win. 20 wins would be, I think, a great marker, and 4 draws, but a draw doesn't really kill us. It doesn't matter. We're already champions. It would be very frustrating if we lost this match after going most of the season unbeaten. Still quite a bit of movement in other games. You can see very even 33 and 34 points going in for those last Champions League qualification spots. LC Sailors have just jumped up from 6th into 3rd spot, so it's incredibly tight in the rest of the division. But with an hour gone, we're going to make some subs. And we're just going to go on condition, and what I can do, I don't have a backup right back out there at the moment, so he will have to see out the game. But we'll make 3 subs based on condition, and then we're going to hit demand more again and just try and see out this game over the last 30 minutes. Throw in right-hand side into Farham, one of the subs. Across is pretty deep. UN, the goal scorer from earlier, will keep it in. Shahran cut back to the left back. Good ball towards near post. It pinballs around, and they do manage to scramble it away. They might even come the other direction here. Marla's our ball-winning midfielder. Keep an eye on him there. Don't want him getting a second yellow card. But as we get to the last 10 minutes, we're going to hit demand more, and we're just going to try and keep our focus through to the final whistle. We've had all of it in terms of shots on target, XG, possession, all that stuff. But we know anything can happen in Football Manager. 4 minutes of additional time to be added on, which we are through now. And the referee calls full time. So it's a good win, a 2-1 performance away from home to finish off the season. And we're going to say that was a good win for us and give everyone a bit of a boost to both their inspiration and motivation. And it does mean that we finish the Singaporean Premier League season undefeated. Invincible season for Hugang, which is fantastic. Swandy gets the man of the match, so we're going to give him a bit of praise. 47.5 thousand Singaporean dollars to be swept out there. Hugang United complete invincible season, as we spoke about. Absolutely ridiculous. 64 points. The record is like 80 points. We're never going to get to it, unfortunately, because even if we won all 24 games, we can't hit that spot because there are now less teams in the division than there were in previous years. But all of that is looking good. And it does mean we've got a huge gap now before our next game in the Singaporean Cup. We've actually got 21 days before that one. And I think we're going to play these first 2 games in the Singaporean Cup off screen. We did lose our initial fixture, so we need to get 2 good wins. But magic of editing, we're going to jump forward now to hopefully a Singaporean Cup final and a chance at the double. All right, so frustratingly, we've been knocked out of the Singapore Cup, which I didn't really see coming, to be completely honest. But if we go and have a look at the group stages, we finished with 1 win and 2 defeats during that period. Nagata got a late winner against us. Balestier got a late winner against us. Maybe we got it tactically wrong in that one, so we're not going back to back and we're not doing a double, but I guess we did finish with the undefeated Premier League season. But what that does open it up for us to do is go and have a look in the job centre about what jobs potentially we might want to have a look at. So CZ Mighty Lions or Kangzhou Mighty Lions we have looked at previously. Persua in Indonesia is available. Tira Persikabo also available in Indonesia. And Asan FC, Chungnam Asan FC in the K-League 2. I'm not super interested in that much in Indonesia, to be completely honest, but if we have to do it, we have to do it to try and jump up that little bit. PSM look like they're the big ones. PSM Makassar, they've won the last 2 divisional titles. There wasn't one in 2020, obviously, and then Bali United is the other one that we might keep an eye on. Persija there, they look decent as well. Persija Jakarta. Jakarta is the capital of Indonesia, if you weren't aware already. Persebaya up towards the top. PSS Sleman look like they're up towards the top. So there's a couple of players in there, or a couple of teams in there that don't look too terrible. We might wait until we get like a proper team coming up, but I'm going to apply for that K-League 2 job. I think that could be an interesting one if it does potentially come in. But Magic Betting, we're probably going to jump forward a couple of weeks, see what games or see what jobs come up and continue to go through them. All right, so jumping forward, we've got a bit of stuff to kind of go through. We're about a month ahead of where we last were. So Daejeon has come up. Now, that it says that they are 12th in K-League 1. They've actually gone down. So if we took over this job, we'd be in the 2nd division in Korea, not the top, which is a challenge, but it's not impossible. I'm going to apply for it. I haven't heard back anything from Asan yet, and they finished down in 7th. The Anyang job was available. It's come up a few times, so I'm thinking that's a pretty unstable one. There's a couple of Malaysian Premier League jobs. I don't want to go backwards to Malaysia again, even though ProTap has a really cool logo and we haven't actually managed in the Premier Division there, but the only jobs in Indonesia at the moment are Division 2, and I feel like that would be a step backwards. So we're going to jump forward probably once more, maybe to like the start of December, and see how we've gone with these 2 job applications. All right, here's an interesting one. LC Sailors, who are in our division, have offered me a chance to go and be their manager. I'm going to decline it because that seems like a sideways step. We haven't heard back from Asan or Daejeon, which I don't know if that's good news or bad news. No further jobs elsewhere, but we might jump forward a couple of weeks unless we get an interview. We might jump forward through to the 1st of January and see how we've gone there. All right, so we've been turned down for every job that we've applied for, including this Bucheon job in K-League 2, which means we're not quite ready for the 2nd division Korean level. Maybe we have to make a jump to Indonesia. We're going to apply for both these jobs, and we're just going to see what happens, see if we actually get interviews to be in the top flight of Indonesia. Otherwise, we don't really have a choice other than to continue in Singapore, which would be frustrating, but you know, we know this is a long journey. Okay, so it's been taken out of our hands. The Semen Padang interview was unsuccessful, so we haven't actually gotten that role either. It means that everything that we've applied for during this off-season hasn't actually come through, which is incredibly frustrating. There's some Indonesian League 2 jobs. I'm not dropping it down a division. I just don't see that as being a good move. So what we're going to do is we're going to do one more season in Singapore. You can see like our under-21 players that are required to have 2 in the starting 11. They're going to drop off. So Crichton's now 21, Ong Yu-en is now 20. We're going to lose that at some point this season. I don't want to be forced into a situation where we have to play like 1 and 2 star players in the squad because we just don't have like high potential youth prospects or first team ready youth prospects coming through. I think it's a stupid rule given how talented a lot of our 23, 21, 22-year-old players are. And at the same time, my contract is also up at the end of this season. So I think what we're going to do is I'm not going to sign a new contract. We're going to go through, we're going to play the season with Hugang. We're going to see if we can get back-to-back league titles in the first 4 seasons of this series. But then we need to make a jump up. We need to be going somewhere where we can play Champions League football or we can play at a higher reputation level, win those competitions, and then continue to boost our own reputation to get some bigger jobs. This won't be an issue, I don't think, in future continents. Like, it shouldn't be an issue in Africa. I think once we've won continental competitions in Asia and Africa, North America will be easy, South America will be easy, Europe will be easy. So I'm hopeful that this is just a little bit of a teething problem at the start of the series as we build up from like no experience to some experience, but we will see how it goes. Just bear with us for these first few episodes. When we come back later this week, we should have played through this season. Hopefully we'll have another title to celebrate. Hopefully we'll have another cup final to really go out on top in Singapore. And then we might sit down and actually go through the job market and see what we can find heading into the end of this week. More than anything though, guys, thank you very much for watching. The support on this series has been fantastic over the opening few weeks. I really appreciate it. If you do want to support the channel that little bit more, drop a like on this video. It helps us get higher in the YouTube search results when people look for Football Manager content. We've got to please that algorithm as much as humanly possible. You can also subscribe to this channel to be kept up to date on all of our future videos. And of course, go and check out the reserve team as well for a bunch of other Football Manager content and real life football. If you're interested in Australia, New Zealand stuff, that is the place to check out. But more than anything, I just appreciate you guys watching. That part means most to me. I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.